Hello students, Mr. Yund here with Chapter 19. It's called Opening the West. This is an interesting chapter. It covers a whole variety of topics, and the time span is 1858 to 1896, so some of this is happening, it's during the Civil War, it's coinciding with the Civil War, just sort of on the other side of the country. Um, there are 4 lessons in Chapter 19. We've got Lesson 1, Mining and Railroads in the West, so that's all about um, the Comstock Lode, silver mines, gold mines, and then the Transcontinental Railroad, that whole quest to connect the East Coast and the West Coast by railroad. Lesson 2 is ranchers and farmers. It's basically cowboys and cattle drives, that kind of thing. Lesson 3, Native American Struggles, is all about what's happening with the Indians during all this. Mostly they're being displaced, put on reservations, and fighting with the army. So pretty much the Indian Wars is covered in Lesson 3. And now Lesson 4 is an interesting lesson that you probably don't have a lot of background knowledge on. It's called Farmers, a New Political Force. So basically, we talk about farmers finally moving into the Great Plains. That's in, I think that might be a little bit in Lesson 2 and a little bit in Lesson 4 as well. There's some new inventions like the steel-tipped plow that allow farmers to start farming in the Great Plains, which had been called at the time the Great American Desert. They didn't think they could farm there, but they were running out of land, and there's some new inventions, and now, bada bing, you can farm in the Great Plains. The sod busters and the prairie houses and stuff like that. In Lesson 4, the farmers become, well, there's a lot of them, and they all have very similar problems, like they don't make enough money, and railroads charge them too much, and things like that, and so they end up having their own political party. It's a populist movement, which is interesting because it's what they've been calling sort of the whole Trump presidency was a populist uprising. So we can compare. What do they mean? What do they mean, populists? So that's where we're going with this chapter. You've got mining, railroads, cowboys, Indians, and farmers. That's where we're going. A lot of interesting stuff. The very next page will be your vocabulary, and then you can have your vocabulary assignment on the next page. That would be it for today. Tomorrow we move into Lesson 1. So that's all. Go ahead and move on to that vocab, knock out the assignment, and I'll see you tomorrow.